Hello, folks. I kind of had an idea for a new format with Tahoma. I thought this might be kind of fun if I just do some vector sketching, vector drawing ideas, and you guys can kind of see my process, the way that I work, things like that. And if you have any questions, of course, you can ask in the comments. I'm just going to sort of talk about what I'm doing while I'm doing it. And yeah, we'll just see how this goes. See how you guys like it. So several ways to make vector art in Tahoma. You can use the brush, and of course you can draw vector lines like this, or you can use the polyline tool and you can create vector shapes like such. I'm going to start with the brush and we're going to draw like just a little scene, and we'll see how this goes. So I'm on my layer here, and let's do sort of a little foresty scene. So I'm going to take my brush and we're just going to draw what would be like a little hill here. All right. And we'll start over here with like a bush. So I have snapping on currently. And what that does is you'll see when I hover over a previously drawn line, it allows that brush to sort of snap in right there. So we'll just draw a little shape like this, bigger shape like this. And I'm just going to create what would be, sort of a bush for the background here. Now, with this bush, we can, of course, leave it like this. We could come behind it. We could add a secondary bush in here if we wanted to, or, whatever works for you off the scene. We could also just draw in some little branches sort of sticking out of these if we wanted to. We could also draw a branch in the bush like this. And this is really just sort of free-forming, just kind of drawing and having fun with the shapes. I'm not really following any sort of guidelines or anything like that. Just kind of having fun. I am doing this with the mouse, by the way. And so, just to kind of show people you can do this stuff with a mouse. It is totally doable. You can also do it with a drawing tab where you have pressure up here and everything. And you'll see with the snap on, you see how it allows me to snap to these lines. That's how I'm getting things so accurate like this. All right. Let's put in a couple rock shapes, and we'll put this rock right in front of it. Now I want to show you how I work with these shapes. If I draw this rock in front of this rock, you'll notice these lines cross over. Well, what I do is hit E for the eraser, and I have it set to segment right here. And segment is perfect because you just do that right there and it cleans that right up. We'll hit B to go back to the brush, and we'll come down here and we'll do another little bush, just kind of as an example. And this would be a great way to kind of start your backgrounds and your scenes, maybe for some of your animations and things like that. Just kind of a quick way to do it. If we wanted to do like grass, you could come here and just kind of sketch this in like a little bit of a grass floof there, and then I would hit E and just clean that out like that, right? You could also hit C, and then you can move these vector lines around. And this is one of the reasons that I really enjoy drawing with vector over, say, raster, is you could come in later and you could say, well, I really want to have this a little taller, or a little further out this way, or whatever. And you can kind of draw that out and make it fit the way you want it to fit. That's one of the reasons I really enjoy vector. All right, so this is looking kind of cool, right? Let's do a couple trees. So what we'll do is we'll do a couple different trees. I'll do a tree trunk sort of like this. And we'll come in here with sort of a rounded looking tree. And then we'll just kind of make the shapes go up. And then what we'll do is we'll come in here and we'll just kind of top that off like that. And of course, I mean, this is all just freehanding this out, just having fun with this, right? You can draw all different kinds of trees. Of course, you could draw triangular looking trees. You could use square. I'll even show you, like, let's say we wanted a tree trunk kind of going this way, right? We'll have it come out from behind this rock. We'll let it snap in there. And then what we'll do is we'll do sort of a square looking tree, and we'll let it overlap these lines right here. And we'll just kind of draw this shape in like this. All right. And then what we'll do is we'll take these branches, kind of come out of here. And again, we'll let it overlap. And we'll just kind of do something like, 1, 2, 3, 4, a little square there. And then we'll do the same thing here. We'll have some more branches come out of the top here, let it overlap. Then we'll just grab that eraser tool. We'll clean this up. We'll cut out them overlaps. And then, of course, you could come in and you could add in, you know, kind of like we did with the bushes. You could add in some little sticks sort of coming out of the tree and things like that. And this is, you know, this is where it's fun to just sketch and have fun, right? This could be considered, you know, just some idea generation. This could be the start of a background. This could be all kinds of things. It's really up to you how you want to go about this. And then I'll select everything on that layer. And we'll just move it over a little bit, right? And let's say we wanted a cloud. All right, so we'll just grab this. We'll hit B for the brush, and we'll do a couple, you know, we'll do a couple clouds up here in the sky. And, you know, again, clouds are however you think they should be made. I have a couple different ways that I personally draw them. No right or wrong here. And I think that's the thing. This is just to kind of give some ideas and some inspiration, you know, on my thought process while using Tahoma, and the way that I would go about just sort of creating. And you can see how this little scene's starting to really, really come together. And then, of course, over here, you know, we could add new colors. Like we don't want to change the black. We could add a color, make it white. And of course, we could fill in the clouds, right? We could make a green, and we could fill in the trees here if we wanted to. We could make another green, and we could, you know, fill in these bushes. We could make even another green and darken it. That way you have some depth on those bushes right there. Of course, we could make a brown. That way these tree trunks have a little bit of color. And you can see how quickly you can color this whole scene in. It comes together relatively quick. Of course, we'll get a gray for the rocks. There you go. Now, I will need to complete this here. So we'll turn that off, and I'll just draw a line across this like this. And you can clean this stuff up if you want. You don't really have to. We'll turn the camera view back on, and then we'll make we'll make sort of a blue, let's go with like a purplish grass, right? There you go. And you can see how it fills in the shape of the grass. And of course, if we pick this and edit this, you'll notice that the color fill goes with the edits, and that's hitting the C key, which is going to grab the control point editor tool. This is how you basically affect the nodes of the shape, like this, right? And that's how you sort of get these different shapes here. And of course, if you break this shape, then, you know, the color fill will go out and you might have to refill it or whatever. But this is a really good look at how you can quickly kind of create a scene. If you're curious about shading, I can kind of show you a cool trick real fast. So if you select a color, select a new color, you can kind of darken that down. What we'll do is we'll shade across this cloud and we'll fill it. So you'll notice what I did. All I did was take the brush and draw a stroke right across the cloud like that. Hit F and filled it. Now, here's a trick. If you set this stroke to 0, you can either use the tool right here, or you can come up here and hit 0. We can still see the line because of the way the preferences are set. But if we render this, you'll notice the line doesn't render. So that's a really good way to come in and sort of shade objects if you wanted to come in and sort of shade the clouds and that kind of stuff. Again, right there, set the stroke to 0. Now what I do is, instead of setting the stroke one at a time, I usually come through and shade all the objects that I want, select all these strokes, and just set them all to 0 at once. And of course, you could do the same thing with the rocks and the grass and whatever you want. You can shade all these things out. So yeah, hopefully this is kind of a, I don't know, just kind of a little sketch session. If you guys like this format, be sure to let me know. I'll do some more vector stuff. We'll do things with the polyline tool. I'll show you how I use that, so you can kind of see how I would create, you know, houses and shapes and things like this with the polyline tool. I'd be glad to go over that if you want. Just let me know. And either way, I'm just going to kind of keep doing these. If you have anything in particular you want to see me draw, just throw it in the comments. Thanks for checking it out. Have a great day. See you later.